going to be Etherian Esports again versus Cyclone. For Etherian, it is Ben at the helm, Modem, Strings, Infinite, and of course OC. And then Cyclone side, you got Mad Cow Bishop, Nero Axed, and Swisher. And into the pistol round we go on none other than Cash, actually. A little bit of a puggy map. This could play to how really we've had the puggy system throughout the match series so far. They go in straight to the A side. It is not retake at all. It's an attempted prevent defense. And Strings and Infinite are left. Now, they have a lot of utility. The only problem is they don't have that much armor or, you know, well, they did have a man down disadvantage, but they're working their way back in.
Don't need armor if they don't get a chance to put a bullet on you, and currently that's the way they're trying to play. Use the advantage of the distance of these USPs, and Infinite's doing a good job of finding the frags. Now just one player remaining, and Infinite will find the kill, so that allows his teammate Strings plenty of space to defuse all the time in the world, and Etherian will pick it up. They were not touched in that 2v2.
Yeah, and without armor, I didn't actually give them too much hope. What ended up happening, Infinite took the player out of quad. When the bomb planted is in the default position, and they see that the player is A main, just plops the smoke on the ground, and he'll stick it from there on out. Even if Infinite doesn't win that fight, Infinite soaks up 2 or 3 seconds of that guy's time out of A main, and that's not enough. So Etherian first to the board, and Cyclone with the first bomb plant are gonna yield out this round and go for the weapons advantage in the third.
But interestingly, Etherian's gone straight into the rifles. No SMGs purchased here, no limited weaponry. They're going to opt to sacrifice a bit of utility in order to get those guns up immediately and hopefully afford themselves a situation where they don't have to reinvest as much in any round. So it is going to be a pretty spread default. There's some aggression towards mid. Mad Cow's actually worked his way all the way up highway, and P-Trip's looking the wrong way. Power. That's Modem. MOTM, actually. I saw Power Trip. MOTM, looking the wrong way, is going to get the frag eventually. And the turn comes in, and somehow he's never taken down, and it's a clean round.
Yeah, that got a little bit scary. The number 2 player was in Z, watching mid. He may have gotten there late, but it did allow a little opening for a T to make his way up into highway. And I believe Modem was able to defend himself on the 180 spin because he had armor, and his opponent did not. So the aim punch prevented that P250 from landing any further shots. So this is the first challenge very early, and you have the crisscross smokes coming into mid, so Cyclone are going to be able to take mid quickly, but it is pressured. Ben is there and plugs this one up directly, and they've smoked off that front door, and the fight is over towards the B site. It's not going to be a split. You can see this as being a problem now for Cyclone's side. They have CTs in the vents. They don't know they have access to the site, but they've dropped the bomb, and it's a 2-on-3. Etherian's advantage. The bomb's gone back and been recovered. And it should at least net a bomb plant.
It's going to be 2 players coming in from Vent as well, so Swisher has an opportunity to sort of plug this position off. He's going to play a little more passive on it, and now, waiting just a few moments, the retake should be on. Molotov goes in to force players out of position, limit their potential mobility, and Nero's trying to play in the round to the back of sight. He's going to win out the duel with the Heaven player. Strings down already, and 2 players executing back in from Vent. Nero's going to be completely exposed as he's flashed out, but now it's a duel between Cyclone, between Swisher and Ben. Swisher and Ben will take this fight. Swisher jumps through with the knife, not expecting Ben to get aggressive. Ben takes the duel, wins it out, and the defuse, full 10-second, will come in. Third round on the board for Etherian.
That was unexpected, but you can see, you can hear he didn't get the defuse off, actually.
Oh, bomb goes off?
Bomb goes. He didn't have a kit. It was 10-second defuse, and then it went away for us. But that was a pretty bold play. The bomb was planted for B main, or maybe checkers, but Ben pushing aggro with a pop flash, like a delayed pop flash. The flash was way out in front of him, but he did not expect that to be the play. And it ends up, it soaked up enough time that Cyclone ended up getting around onto the board. Weapons are still relatively equal. You have AKs, Galils, and a UMP against some of the M4s, but the CTs do lack that lasting potential with all that utility. It's really 5 flashbangs and a smoke. And that one flash has now been hucked. Strings on top of the box, getting pressured. The A site now open for business. Really, Modem on this angle is a one and done unless he could find some cover, but he was on a wider angle. And Cyclone are going to set up shop.
Infinite was great at entering back in on the pistol round, but we'll see if he has as much success. When rifles are facing him down, he's already watched OC fall right before his eyes. That'll at least give him an upgrade in weaponry, but now the site appears to be locked down. And at this point, Ben and Infinite are just going to consider the save, and they will exactly confirm it. They're going to pull back. 4 still alive for Cyclone in what was a pretty dominant second gun round. And now they're going to start to see that economy swell. Etherian suddenly on the back foot.
Yeah, Cyclone may have only preluded their way into that site with a flashbang over top of A main, maybe even a pop flash. But Strings, who was on that side box there trying to peek that shallower angle into A main, got caught off. There was no truck smoke. There was nothing real direct. There was nothing telling for Cyclone's side. They weren't telegraphing that this is going to be an A hit, and I think that caught Strings off guard.
Little casual player cams here. You can see the tension. They know it rides on this moment. At least securing second place is securing, I think, $2,000. So certainly no small sum if they make it through this particular round. As it is, Cyclone going to be trying to take mid control.
I love that Cyclone are playing pretty heavy into mid every round. This round, they know that the economy at best is the 2 rifles that were saved in the previous round, but they don't know yet whether it's pistol armor or what. Now the spin around, Nero saving Bishop's life. So this delayed mid-aggression for the CT side is met with heavy resistance. The last 2 M4s were up, and now it's just Ben.
Just Ben, he's alone, he's got no friend. And he's just got to try and stay alive. There's really nothing he can hope to do in this round, so he's just going to wedge himself into a corner by the tree room. He's got a rifle in hand, a flash, and armor. It's all worth saving going into what is presumably the next gun round. They would have liked to keep Infinite alive as well, but alas, that just didn't quite work out. He got wide swung and taken down. Bishop with the frag. So now Ben, trying to keep himself alive, will just tuck in cover on B, and they're not really hunting terribly aggressively. Cyclone willing to let him slip away with this 1 rifle, it seems, but now they're going to start to poke and prod. Will he be found?
I think Etherian are going to require that the op comes online sooner rather than later. They need OC to be able to post up on some of these angles, and Cache is a map that you can get a double op set up. And it worked for preventing them getting into the sites. It does get a little bit unwieldy if you're double opping and you have both of those working onto a retake one way or another. But I think that's what Etherian need to do right now. They need to be able to get at least a single op. If they go for a double op setup immediately without just dipping their toes in the water and seeing how Cyclone are playing, if they can play with ops, I'm not sure. But instead they go with 5 rifles here, with 1 rifle saved from the last round. I doubt they had enough money to be able to buy up the op, because you can see the utility is a little bit short now. So Etherian are kind of bouncing off the top of the water. They're just skipping like a stone. Not quite able enough to get deep enough into their pocketbook to be able to buy up an op.
MOTM on the counter boost, but Swisher is ready for it, watching. As soon as he peeks over, he will get his head ripped from his shoulders. Now that leaves Ben alone in the mid-site, ducking behind the chain, trying to re-execute or hold on to this rather, as they are almost definitely going to be coming over the top. Strings out of the squeaky door is actually going to get himself a little prize, takes the head off of Nero. And now numbers equalized. Here's the mid-aggression once again. They will take firm mid-control. It's been completely abandoned by the CTs. Smokes come in to block off highway, and now it is absolutely theirs. OC, though, in vent, has something else to say for it. Will be able to trade out 1, but now Infinite alone on B. He's got a lot of targets coming his way, and he's going to need to hold strong. Gets 1, 2 as well before he's taken down. Axe now all alone, bomb in hand, trying to aggress into tree room. He knows he needs to take one of these players out. And he finds it. Strings isolated, looking the wrong way. Maybe a moment of confusion and miscommunication. Ben nearly loses his life in similar fashion, and Axe repeaks again to find the frag. 4th round on the board off of a terrific play from Axe.
Good stuff, Axe. 1v2. Looked like at least the mid presence for the T side is there, but it's fleeting. It's water crashing upon the rocks when they wanted to execute in through the vents into that B site. But they do get it done at the end of the day. And Etherian Esports now dropping, I believe, 4 in a row. It is Deagles almost for everyone. Got some chest armor in there too, so they'll be able to get rifles in the next round when they end up on max loss bonus.
OC's already been naded to oblivion, so he's got 39 HP left. And obviously not how they'd like to start a round when they're already in such a disadvantage. The MAC-10s are out. and on the prowl. And again, it's just going to be mid-control asserted pretty much instantly. OC will manage to take one at least this time. But some team damage came in there. I guess that nade was team damage.
Maybe it wasn't the nade. Yeah, maybe it was a knife.
Oof. Unfortunate.
I like Cyclones being their due diligence. You know, they're throwing grenades. They know it's not a rifle round, but they're still using their utility to really extend the dollar bill in the long run. Because sure, you might spend 3, 6, maybe even up to $1,000 on grenades if you spend all of them. But you're securing the armor that you've got. You're securing the rifle that you have. But the Deagle's able to cut through some of that at least for the moment. 3-on-3, and you know who heard all that, at least retreating, was Strings. So he is sending Modem down towards mid, and that might be where he meets Cyclone head on. Great Molotov, like I said, they're using their utility well, and they'll go pick on Infinite, I believe.
Infinite will be smoked off here, so it should just be the full 3-man retake. Don't believe there's a gap in that smoke for him to peek through, so the bomb will be planted in just a moment. And they've secured their avenue of exit as well. It is being made, but they'll come rocking around the corner. Strings with 2 quick Deagle kills. Now they've got rifles up from the salvaged bodies.
The time's so low.
It's just Mad Cow. He can't plant. He can't get the sight. He's almost dusted up. He just needs to die at this point, and die he will. Strings will put him out of his misery for the 3rd kill on the site. And Etherian secure themselves another round.
Yeah, a little bit of an eco there. It was Deagle armor, but that was eco comparative to what they were going to be buying up in the next round anyway. So they are rewarded with a victory, and what ends up happening on cash a lot of times is you get these streakiness that shows itself. So I expect whoever wins this round is going to be able to break the opponent's economy. So this is going to be a pivot round that says a lot of weight riding here. And you see the ops are in play for both sides. Modem has this, not OC this time. And then Nero's on the op on the other side of the world. But we'll see if Cyclone continue to play this mid-presence. They're currently boosting up and preparing to have multiple peaks up here and overwhelm at least one of these weapons.
I wonder if this was a positional situation game where Modem could just get to mid a little bit faster than OC could, and they knew. I mean, at this point, I think mid-presence has been the play from Cyclone round after round after round. They're starting to expect it. The molly gets thrown automatically to delay them a little bit, and now the reaction comes in. You've got a firm hold. There's a player in Z as well as a player on Highway. Ben, if he peeks in at the right moment, he's going to have himself a great opportunity, but on boost, Axe is ready for it and watching. The delayed push from Axe works out beautifully. Now they're already on the site. They're surrounding. Strings needs to survive, but he cannot do so. So bomb will be planted. Now it's a 3-on-4 retake, and at a certain point, Etherian may just consider the save since the reset is at hand.
Now you have to. This op is too valuable to lose. He'll cover a couple of the angles on his retreat, and he'll make his way out of here. And Infinite was also thinking about pressuring up towards Truck at the same time. They're going to make the full bugle to retreat, and it is, well, we were talking about the eco reset, and Etherian's going to catch some of that, but maybe be able to avoid. Cyclone's economy as well is weakened, so hunting is warranted for maybe one head. You know, you don't want to lose 2 bodies here for Cyclone's side, and they do seem to be at least posted up where they remain while the bomb detonates, and they won't try and agitate those CTs any further.
So 5th round, and good pole position going forward. We're just going to get those sweet player cams. Oh yeah, face shots.
I don't know, do Etherian go for a double op when they can afford it? Because right now this isn't it's not a sustainable situation for them right now.
Not at all.
If they spend the 4750 times 2 plus all the rifles they invest in, maybe that can save them money in the long run. You're not getting the kill reward, but you are at least keeping players alive. But right now, they're just struggling to keep their head above water. Infinite drops, picks up the op that was dropped by OC. So that means there's a rifle for Strings to be able to pick up over near Checkers. And he's on his way. I mean, he's to tree room now. He'd like to get up to that position, but I think it's going to cost some utility for the CTs to at least just secure him that rifle and be comfortable about grabbing that.
He's drifting away. It almost looks like he's going to stick to the Deagle for now, just based on the way positioning worked out. And it's going to leave Modem with a lot of targets to find as they come on towards the A side. It is still a bit of a spread default. Cyclone have a minute to work with. They know they don't need to get hasty here. Every advantage is in their hip pocket. And they are fully aware of that fact, especially since utility is limited. Okay. But now comes a bit of a fake execute. There is no bomb close by, so the full execute will not come in. Maybe just to bleed out some utility from the CTs. They don't really have any at hand, so doesn't quite work out on this side of the map.
They actually didn't. I don't think they threw much of anything. Infinite pops off with that first shot, and they know now that it was a little bit of a pump fake over towards that A site. They're still in a collective beach stroll. Nice, relaxed movements over towards the B site. They do have Infinite, obviously, still here, but also Ben in support. And we know Ben can be insane. Oh, that's a shame that Molotov doesn't hit on the site, but Infinite is slightly confused on the target-rich environment, and there's a clotheslining. Strings is able to only get one, and it will leave it all up to Modem. 1v3. And now I'd say there's not much to lose. You need to be able to put up some rounds here. And that's a great first way to start it off. Finding Bishop, and the grenade scatters off to his left side, and he'll repost. Nero saw the barrel, catches him on the swing. And Modem, that wasn't a wide swing, it was shallow initially, and he was starting to clear out that site, and he just gets caught by Jack in the Box.
Once they know his position, it's really tough. Two targets, or two angles to watch from the players, and they've got both angles covered. Just really no room for him to work at. It would have taken a bit of a miracle play, a bit of a miracle shot, and alas, Modem doesn't quite have it in him this round. So 3-6, Cyclone, they're starting to put a little distance on them. They're starting to build a little bit of a lead. And Etherian's going to need to figure out the answer quickly. This won't be the round to do it, as it is just going to be 5 bare USBs. They'll hunt down the first, but now Swisher is here to rain death from above through fire and flame and a lot of lead. He'll take 3. So now just Infinite and Strings, and they'll be cleaned up momentarily. Infinite 40 HP and a Dream, a USP, maybe a MAC-10 retrievable.
Yeah, it's a consolation prize. Congrats. You got a little 9mm chatterbox.
It's like when you have a scratch-off ticket and you get the scratch-off $1.
Oh, actually, I can't say that because there's a chatterbox skin, but it's for a Galil. Anyways, saving a MAC-10, whatever. His best chance is to actually use that in this round to get some kills and maybe get a little bit of extra cash. But once these Ts are able to heal up, like what he thinks now is there's some Ts that might be vulnerable. So better to take that chance now. Try and do economic damage. But only one casualty for Cyclone's side in that round, and they'll stretch their dollar bill, or at least cushion the blows if they do come to rain on them, and save that money for a rainy day as well.
Looks like we may have a pause here. I'm hearing the console tick by. So a little bit of tactical time, or is it technical time? I don't. Oh, they're speaking, so it's definitely tactical time. Etherian trying to puzzle out what's going wrong here, what they can figure out. You see the man, the myth, the legend, MOTM, the man of the match, chatting through.
Yeah, you know, I'd like to see more from Ben this game, because
he was on fire.
I talked him up so much yesterday.
He was
and
absolutely on fire.
And it's not only yesterday, but also online in the ESEA, Mountain Dew League. He's been ripping. And then he carried that over into a LAN setting, and he's still playing incredibly well. Top performer, but he's been relatively quiet this game. Yesterday, what did we see him on where it was Mirage?
Train.
And Train.
And Train. Train was the game where they took it to overtime and then closed it out in overtime, 19-15.
And Ben was down on that B site, and he just
locking it down.
Laid
I think
down
he had
the
a
law.
30 bomb in regulation.
Yep.
Picked up some more in overtime. He was really what kind of kept him in that, because there were a lot of moments where the team was faltering, and it seemed like they were going to not be able to close the match out. And Ben was the driving force to keep them alive on that map. So we need to see him wake up a little bit in this server if they can have any chance of slowing down the ferocious spinning wind that is this Cyclone GG. And they don't want to let any of that gas let up, so they're going to rock right back into the site and start rolling through. Nero will lead the way with the AWP. He's trying to find a pick towards B. He's had a lot of success peeking into these angles.
Slight change up right now from Cyclone. They put Bishop out on the lurk roll. that might look different now because he's been picked off before towards Squeaky side. This time he's going to be a little bit late in tow for the rest of the team. But look how close Cyclone are able to get into the site to be able to surprise. Infinite's working a little bit on a one-way behind this box of smoke. And Nero fires that shot through the floor, I believe, so it doesn't quite hit the target. Smoltov now burning him out, pushing Ben down. 1v3 with an off.
Smoked out, he's just got to save this at this point. I mean, they're starting to get to that round, that point in the map, or in the half, rather, where saving no longer buys you that much in terms of benefit, and it really is, you just need to get it done. But he can't really risk this off. There's no opportunity afforded to him. There's no window to squeeze a shot through. So he will fall away, save it through to the next round. And Etherian, they're going to let another round slip away. Cyclone up to 8. Etherian starting to look a little desperate in this first half of Cash.
Yeah, so what I was looking at, trying to recognize patterns so that I can try and piece together this winning situation for Etherian. After that timeout, Cyclone left a lurker out towards Squeaky, which may have been a similar strat to what we'd seen before, but I can't remember which CT pushed through Squeaky door to get that one early kill, probably 5 rounds ago at this point. Strings. That may have been the same strat. So Cyclone are just playing this mix and match game. Early on in the half, there was a lot of mid presence. They'd use those cross smokes, secure some mid territory, and play Counter-Strike. You know, OC's going to find his first kill against Nero, so the off is down for Cyclone's side. And all the pistols were on the other side of the map. And teams are coming this way, and in fact, it's only Bishop. Infinite was able to pick up 3 kills. Bishop defends himself with a Glock, getting 2 kills of his own, and it's suddenly 1v1. Ops plus pistols, just as good as Ops plus AKs. Bishop will throw the truck smoke and a couple flashbangs as well, but I don't think he'll expect OC right up in his face, or yes, he does. The full ace for Bishop. 4 of those were pistols, but Infinite as well.
Infinite coming through with the quick 3K in A main, making it happen with the P250. He's just got that aggressive ability to blast through up an entry point and pick up frags regardless of the gun in his hand, but ultimately not quite enough in this round. We are going to have the double op come out. It's MOTM and OC both picking it up, and I don't know if you could hear through the mic, but Modem was getting loud on stage a round ago, but Cyclone may have shut him up for the moment. We'll see if he can get that energy back, wake his team up a little bit, and give us a fight here on Cash.
That last round was expensive for Cyclone, but still you're getting so late in the half that all the work that they had done early on is showing. I mean, that's what it's for. It's for one of those rainy day situations. It's a shame that it was just against, you know, pistols plus 1 op. So this is a similar strat than what we've seen before, the triple stack up for Cyclone's side. They've got 1 smoke that comes down into Z. It's going to block that off. They got mollies into sandbags as well, and it's going to be a clear-cut A execute here. Strings is actually over by lockers. So this Molotov that's here is delaying because the highway team is now up and ready to push. The A main team is not quite there. So a little bit of mistiming from Cyclone's side, all based off the back of a Molotov, and it's a 3 for none. Strings defends, and he still survives, maybe even just almost a shade away from finishing off Mad Cow, who was forced in a 1v5 here. The grenade smoke gives him a little bit of cover, and he's looking for more. Etherian with success on that one on a delayed Molotov that just interrupted the flow. Instead of being a simultaneous 2-prong attack, it ends up being a slower left-right punch. And Etherian are able to brush it away.
Modem was going to make damn sure he got that fist bump. He went for the elbow tap, then the second elbow tap. OC was not going to ignore him in that particular moment. But now, finally, another round, 4th on the board for Etherian, and they're going to get aggressive off the back of this double op. The double op perhaps giving them life late in the half. If they can get to 5, they've still got a fighting chance in this, as they will swap to the T side and be able to dictate the pace themselves. Cyclone have looked very good so far. They've been going through a few different set pieces, and now they'll fan back out into their default. Wait and see if someone's going to get over-aggressive off of the momentum from the previous round, and if they can punish it. A lot of utility on either side, so we're going to kind of see one of those rounds where both teams can execute their full plan. There's no limiting factors, so to speak. And it is a much slower round from Cyclone than what we've seen typically. Usually they go early into one of those points of map control and then react based on that. This time, they're going to go late for the mid control, but there's heavy presence here from the CTs. 2 players watching the angle, including the op of Modem.
The CT setup for Etherian right now looks more along the lines of a pistol round strat. They're playing retake A. And it does allow the ops to have some longer field of view from highway and truck and everything else to work A. But it does leave it into a situation where you could end up, if you just smoke off truck, that the T's could end up getting in there and you have a 5-on-5 retake. There's the truck smoke. Molly for back quad. Second Molly comes out here, and the CTs are relegated to just spamming into the site. And Cyclone, I think, is going to be a little caught off guard that nobody's here. Strings has a flashbang, but he wishes he had a Molotov for the default setup right now. Nero will be able to take his head off. You need to be able to consolidate your forces if you're Etherian. You're still waiting for the truck team to get up and in. Mata misses the shot as the crossing T is there. They're going to use what utility they have to now hold on. A smoke, a molly, and a flashbang for all of the T's. A flash preludes the way in. Ben's got the first, but Bishop and Nero are able to at least shave off some of the CTs that remain, and it is only Ben. He's completely surrounded, and he absolutely dinks Bishop with a grenade, working for the next players. He hits him in the face playing dodgeball with high explosives.
That looked like me trying to catch. Just the grenade straight into the face, explodes right on his body and allows him to get the frag. Even that moment of confusion, I think, probably contributed to it because the player who got doinked actually probably had the read earlier on, but when you suddenly have a high explosive round charge up on your nose,
I would actually love to see the replay of that, just in the case, because when the grenade's coming straight at your face, the bullets are coming from the center of your face, you know? So Counter-Strike, he may have shot that grenade a couple times, which blocked the bullets for Ben. Next level.
That's a next level play. Grenades as armor. Just wear them.
Best defense is a good offense.
A maxim as old as time and as true as time. Interestingly, with the pistols, there's actually going to be the opening pick in this round for Etherian. They're trying desperately to get that 5th round on the board. Cyclone have been relentless this entire map, and now their backs against the wall. There's still so much utility for Cyclone, even with a player down. They can just do whatever they want.
Well, not that pop flash. Now the T-flash comes in. It's going to make a little confusion, but they're doing well. It's a 3-on-2 advantage to the CT side. They've gotten themselves an AK. It's a shame that Ben, I think, was too far exposed up there, and so they'll just kind of throw away the opportunity that they earned with those pistol and the MP9 at point-blank range. Strings is working the flank here, and he's trying to get in here before the bomb gets planted. Just barely rounds this corner. He's got an incendiary. That'll take care of the headshot angle, make things far easier. But when he crosses this angle in pit, he's got the first. Danger is there, and he's looking for the next. Almost finds it. And it's a shame. It's 4-11. That's not a scoreline you want to have. It's a decently balanced map. It comes down to what side you prefer, CT or T side, and if you want to execute. But 4-11 is manageable.
At this point, though, you can see the worry on their face. I'm worried that the mental state at this point won't necessarily allow them to come back in the second. They've had some big comebacks in the past, and they have a pretty good team mentality, generally speaking, but on stage, the nerves start to set in, and Cyclone are feeling every single one of their shots. That confidence has built. They're willing to take every angle, every peek, and they're winning most of their aim duels. So just on that factor alone, now on the CT side, they're going to hold angles and slot 4 towards A, and that's where the execute wants to come in. Cyclone reading this like a book. Their plan working out perfectly.
They got a kit. Usually if you've got a kit on this round, it's for retake A. Here comes the smokes. They smoke off at least the truck side, and they will absolutely overwhelm, but look at Swisher through the smoke! Strings is able to at least shut him down and puts it all onto Mad Cow's shoulders, but at least Swisher is able to keep their head in the game. Mad Cow alone. Swings through the fading smoke. He's got the first, looking for the next one as well, just quickly rounding the corner, and Mad Cow clutches the 1v2 on the back end of Swisher, at least, doing the legwork on the front side of it. And that extends the lead, 12-4.
You know, they say you got to take the bull by the horns, but this time the cow gets the better of them. Get straight gored when you try and go for that and you slip.
Mad cow disease, man.
Mad cow disease indeed. He's hard to root out.
I mean, you had basically 2 players through that smoke. His was fading, but he took that advantage. Tried to catch the T initially that planted the bomb because he knows he's stuck. Absolutely stuck in default. So just pre-fires the angle, murks him, and then has to find the second. So wins that clutch. Etherian are on Deagles and slightly upgraded armor, only on Strings now. And Strings is that player that strikes true against Bishop. Good grenade, that's 30 damage, and he's looking for more.
Nero with the scout in such a tough position. It's odd that they're actually hunting him through because he can just fall back and continue to rain shots down. But they need to find any sort of advantage here. So the Deagles are trying to take these angles at range. Axe going to trade out one. The retreat, Famas doing work for Osi. Now the angles shrink down, and there's an avenue onto the A side. If this truck player goes down, the bomb will be planted. Indeed, it will. They slip past him, but now the re-execution is going to come in. Mad Cow and Swisher with the rifles should lead the way, but Nero, he's got a scout, and he's on the move. At this point, Modem had a great angle, but Swisher read it like a book. Now Strings in the back lines with the Deagle. 4 HP will hit the first, needs 2 more. Or just a bleed out time. Will hit the second as well. What is Strings doing? Can't get the third. For a moment, I believed, but it wasn't enough to bring Etherian through to another round.
Look how expensive he made that round, though. And that's 2 bomb plants in a row. They're going to have a great opportunity to make some of this lead disappear. 13-4, and we likely could see if Etherian are able to pick up this round, that should instantly break the CT's economy. You get 13-5, 13-6. Suddenly, it's out of control, but it still rides on this one. Cyclone are limping along with a UMP and a FAMAS. Not full utility either.
So this would be the round. If they can do it, then you could see a momentum swing. But if they lose this, at this time we're on 14-4, and all hope in this first map is gone. Pretty much, barring miracle. Good spray down from Mad Cow. He's going to find one nearly the second. Will eventually do it with the Flames, actually. And now this push from Etherian has just been decimated. It's just Infinite and Osi left reeling in mid. They've got an exposed A bomb site. If they slip up highway, they'll have it. But there's a lot that they'll need to do in the post plant.
The timing's not that great. Infinite's hearing them starting to reset. So they'll back up a couple players. And this might not be bad. With his flank and Z connector, try and cut him up. That's going to be the A site open. I'm sure they would love this rather than have a 5-man retake against them. They'll take these guys piecemeal right now. The Molotov as well is going to delay, and again, divide and conquer. I believe Mad Cow just hit a 6 shot, but it's 1-on-2. He's got him lined up. Infinite at 1 HP in a dream. A flashbang scatters off to his right side. I thought that might have even been it to kill him.
Mad Cow had a 4K of his own.
4K, but actually the timing was so well routine and almost looked even rehearsed. They had the player in Z connector. They were hearing them reset after the full rotate to the B site, so the players are now trickling in. Say they had gotten to the A site with no CTs rebounding back. It's a 2v5 retake. Easy for the CTs. They have utility as well. However, the Z connector player for the T side comes through, catches them before they can set up on site, so they're still at truck at furthest, and then takes them one at a time with a Molotov that again cuts the head off the snake, and he just goes one more, one more, one more.
Would have been an impressive round if they had been able to close it out. As it is, it's good damage, but good damage doesn't mean as much at the moment because it is a 10-round lead for Cyclone. Cyclone have been ferocious. They've looked phenomenal, and again, Swisher just going to get it done in mid with an MP9, cutting down the boost players again and again. Ben and Infinite left alone once more. They're going to need to try and make something happen here, and Infinite will lead the charge with his 13 HP. They need to dig this side player out, and Mad Cow will sacrifice himself to the gods to secure the map point.
The greater good.
The greater good.
He dies after he was the hero. He's a martyr.
We'll build a memorial. Mad Cow, 2018.
That's 15 now. Is that correct?
15 to 14. 15 to 4.
4.
I added a 1. Numbers are hard sometimes.
I mean, that's Etherian would love to be able to just get that 10-round bonus.
That's creative accounting.
He's got that first kill. That's what the scout. How many times have we seen it where a team will hit 15 rounds and then the team that's shortchanged, fighting like a caged animal with half-ass weapons, a scout, a Galil, Deagles, and they get it done anyways. It happens more often than you care to admit.
That is true, but there's just such a round deficit, and Mad Cow has been ferocious on this B bomb site. He'll get 2. A nice transfer, brought the utility or the numbers back even, and the advantage still rests for Etherian, especially as the bodies fall. Strings all alone has the bomb. We'll need to get this planted. He's got a minute 10 to work with, and they don't know where he is. They have not spotted Strings.
This is okay. Play aggressive, but he peeks that angle, and when he does, the CTs are ready and waiting. Ends up being the double peaks himself. and goes down. So 16-4?
16-4.
That is
dominant first map.
Not a scoreline I expected from Etherian. Honestly,